when Ilia decided to be like, oh, I'm done with 145, I can't make it anymore, and that kind of gets taken away from you, and you really don't have any choice in that matter, right? If the guy moves and decides to vacate the belt and no longer wants to fight at 145, what was your feelings initially when that happened? And you go, okay, I really want to fight for the belt. And it doesn't matter. Obviously, you want to be the champion, whether it's him or anybody else. But what was your initial reaction when it's like, oh, he's just leaving and not even giving me the opportunity to potentially fight back for there? What went through your mind?
It was a slow process of figuring that out. So that helped, because if it was like, after the little face-off we did after his fight with Max, it's locked in. I had him in my sights, obviously a rematch that I wanted for the belt. That was a perfect world. And then, then he did start mentioning moving up. Wasn't sure what was going on. At the start, I didn't like the idea of maybe negotiations, it's just maybe something like that. I don't really know the situation. I won't look too much into it. Then it started getting to a point where things were dragging on. I wanted to fight maybe that little bit sooner. And then, I wasn't sure what was going on. So then it got to a stage where I'm like, all right, well, let's just fight. Give me a fight, because I don't want to wait around any longer. As we know, I've already had a massive break. So that sort of eased that for me. That made it easy for me, because I did want that. But, then I actually found out when Dana announced it that he was vacating. So I knew it was going to be Diego, only 2 weeks before. But at that stage, I was like, come on, what's going on? I'll fight anybody, interim, whatever. It doesn't matter. Let me just fight. And, I can do Ilia later if he doesn't want to fight right now, whatever it is. So that's where we're at. So it was easy. And then I end up seeing his live, and he's like, oh no, he's vacated, he's moving up. I was like, wow, I didn't expect him to just, even though I heard him talk about it, I knew that he wanted to eventually move up. I just didn't think he would just vacate. And he must have something locked out. Does he have that Islam fight locked in? I don't know. Only makes sense for him to actually vacate, or he really does believe he's done enough at featherweight and he just wants to chase that lightweight. Good on him, man. I'm not going to stand in his way. Obviously, I wanted that fight, but I guess I got the next best thing for actual belt. Diego, still a young, hungry guy. The new school, as people saying, that's something that I wanted to prove to everyone as well. Not only I could get that win back, but show you that I could still beat the new school. And Diego's still new school, so I got the next best thing, fighting for the vacant belt.
Well, mate, listen, it's a huge opportunity, and for you to come back and become the champion again, what a story that will be. Real quick, before we talk about that a little bit more, do you have an opinion or a potential pick? Obviously, you've been in there with Islam and Ilia. What do you think about that matchup, and do you think Islam should face him? Because he's saying he needs to win one at lightweight. What are your thoughts on that whole situation and as a fight itself?
I understand. Put it this way, if he was trying to hang on both belts, I don't think that was going to happen. The fact that he's vacated and the lightweight division's in a position where, I don't know, there's no real clear number one, I think it's fair. The fact that he vacated, I think that's fair. If he wanted to hang on and do the double champ thing, I think he needed to do more work. But the fact that he's like, look, I'm going to let this one go, let that division move on. I want to commit to lightweight. I think that's big. I think that's fair. So I think he sort of deserves it. How do I think that fight's going to go? Look, I have fought both of them. Islam is going to be a hard man to beat. I think for anyone, I think the only chance of him losing is someone, knocking him out, right? Like someone landing something. That's what I believe. I've always believed that about myself. The only way I would lose is, someone catching me rather than actually beating me. The only person that I believe will give me that close fight is Islam. You know what I mean? And I feel the same for Islam with a lot of the opposition. I think everyone has a puncher's chance. I think that's the only way I see him really losing, someone catching him. And if anyone could do it, it is Ilia. Ilia's obviously got some dangerous hands. So for people to just count him out, it's like, man, he's got power in his hands. He's he's going to be looking for it. He's composed, and even if things aren't going his way, he's going to keep looking for it, keep trying to find it until he does or until he loses. So, he's dangerous. Maybe if the gas tank goes, we'll see when he starts, them later rounds with someone like Islam. But early on, the first 3 rounds, he's going to be dangerous. You don't want to be getting caught by any of those punches. So if anyone could catch him, I think Ilia's right up there for a chance.